So I've done all this work up to this point now. How do we graph it? Well, what I tried to do on this slide that you saw earlier is that, let's see, let me do this. This function, see both those denominators, of course we can't see it anymore, act like 1 over x because none of those factors are squared. As a matter of fact, I think I can recreate that. Let's come back here. I know there's a vertical asymptote at x equals -1. I know there's a vertical asymptote at x equals +2. None of those, neither of these factors in the denominator are squared. If one of these were squared, then that piece, that asymptote would act like 1 over x squared. But because it's not, we know they're all just going to act like the toolkit function 1 over x. So how does that help us? Well, I know it crosses. So I'm going to focus on this domain right here inside. I see there's a y-intercept, and I know I've got an x-axis. So it has to come down. This function has to come down like this. So let me get my mouse back. I know it has to come down and follow that vertical asymptote. Some people get confused why it's crossing the slant asymptote. Well, that's out at infinity, folks, not around x equals 0, not in close. We know it crosses the y-axis at there. We know it crosses the x-axis here, and we know it doesn't turn back up because there's no zeros out to the right of that. So that has to head down to -infinity there. That's heading up to +infinity there. Now, what's so nice about graphing this portion of it first, we know both of these vertical asymptotes act like 1 over x. So that tells me I know this graph's not going to go like this. Number one, it's not going to cross the x-axis again. Number two, it's acting like 1 over x because they're both 1 over x squared because they're both heading the same direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo all that. There we go. And I know that this graph has to look like this. It has to come down from +infinity. It makes a turn in here, and then it follows that slant asymptote. And that same kind of thing is going to happen here, but this is even nicer because I know it can't come down like this. I know it can't be like that because that's acting like 1 over x squared. So it has to come up from -infinity. It's got to cross the x-axis there. Then somewhere in here it has to make a turn because it's got to head through that x-intercept again, and then it heads out, follows that slant asymptote. So yeah, that looks a little squished. It probably doesn't look quite like that, but I've got the general idea of what's happening, and that's what's important. Okay, so that's how you go from here. Once you get all the VAs, the slant asymptotes, the intercepts plotted, then you can just kind of think about what's happening. Notice I didn't have to plug in any points. I didn't have to do any evaluation. I just used what I had. So this is what I'm hoping you folks can get to.